I'm saying now, hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Midday News. This bulletin is live on Joy 99.7 and Hit 103.9 FM here in Accra. We are on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi, myjoyonline.com, and affiliates in all 16 regions of Ghana, including Victory FM Aplao, Radio Justice Tamale, and Dreams FM Bogotanga. We are live on X Spaces and Facebook. The Midday News is supported by Petrosol Platinum Energy. Energizing dreams. Coming up, government replaces lightwave health information management systems amid nationwide health system disruptions. Details as the health minister accuses the company of underperformance and blackmail.
Even the hardware, there were gaps in the supply of the hardware. The supply of computers. Assuming in the contract it stated that they should supply HP laptops. You go and cheaper brands are supplied. They should supply, let's say, 100. You go and less than 100 is supplied.
Also coming up, veteran of Chief Justice nominee Justice Paul Bathelboni thrown into uncertainty following a motion filed by the minority in Parliament urging the Speaker to suspend the process. We'll find out why. Still in Parliament.
The 8th Parliament is history. So are all the businesses that were pending in the 8th Parliament. They all ended with the 8th Parliament. And so we have a new Parliament, the 9th Parliament. And therefore what was pending there came to an end and had to be reintroduced.
The minority and sponsors of the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill are demanding its reappearance on Parliament order paper today, although resort to other options as they say Speaker's ruling must hold.
We want to see action. We want to see that the Parliament is walking the talk and want to see Human Sexual Rights Family Values Bill 2025 on the order paper for first reading to be taken. If it doesn't appear, then it means whatever that was said is just deception to the good people of Ghana.
We also have sports.
Sports Ministry finally clears Black Queens outstanding bonuses after sealing 2026 WAFCON qualification.
This afternoon, residents of Elmina cry out to President Mahama as their taps run dry for weeks, forcing many to rely on sachet water for bathing and cooking. A crisis worsened by illegal mining polluting the River Pra and crippling the Setre Himan headworks.
So this government is doing well for us or what? Let the water flow. That is what we need. I will speak to him directly.
We have more in our continuing series, Dear Mahama, Stop Galamsey. Also, famed quiz mistress Dr. Elsie Ifa Kaufman takes the stage tomorrow as a National Science and Maths quiz enters its quarter-final stage. Top contenders including Presec Legon, Infancy Pim School at Disadel College and Opokwari Senior High School are all gearing up for fierce contest as the competition intensifies in the race for national glory.
With coordinates 1-6 is a point of inflection of the curve y is equal to x cubed plus ax squared plus bx.
These and more with me, Pearl Ofori. This is Joy News, independent, fearless and credible. This afternoon, the Ministry of Health has announced a new digital platform to manage health data nationwide, the Ghana Health Information Management System. Health Minister Kwabena Mintakando says the new system replaces Lightwave Health Information Management System, LIMS, which he says is underperforming. Speaking at the Government Accountability Series today, the minister said the company behind LIMS had been paid over 70% of a $100 million contract but had completed less than 50% of the work. He described the company's recent posture as blackmail, insisting government will not bow to pressure. The LIMS platform was introduced to digitize patient health records at public hospitals in Ghana, replacing paper-based folders and allowing health workers to assess patient history, manage claims and support clinical workflows, but is experiencing nationwide disruption, forcing some hospitals to revert to manual record keeping. The National Health Insurance Authority also raised concerns about the temporary system downtimes affecting patient services.
What we realized was that even the hardware, there were gaps in the supply of the hardware. the supply of computers. If, assuming in the contract is stated that they should supply HP laptops, you go and cheaper brands are supplied. They should supply, let's say, 100. You go and less than 100 is supplied. So there were issues of quality of the equipment or material supplied, and there were issues of quantity, the number supplied. And so upon analysis, you realize that the gap alone for the hardware was not less than $18 million. Again, I have stated that the contract sum was $100 million. At the end of 31st December 2024, although 450 out of the 950 had been connected, the vendor had been paid about $77 million. Clearly, more than 70% of the total amount had been paid, and less than 50% of the work has been done. At that point, we had to refer everything to the AG and the appropriate quarters, including the security, for advice and appropriate action. As a ministry, what we had to concern ourselves with was the solution of the matter to get out this mess.
So we had the Health Minister, Dr. Minta Kando. Now, our Presidential Affairs correspondent was at that press conference and joins me right now with details on that. Maxwell Agbeba, what more can you report from the press conference beyond what we heard from the Health Minister?
Well, the Health Minister has been explaining that they got to this point because when they got the service level agreements that they had wanted to enter with the company Lightwave, Lightwave actually wanted them to take out a part of the service level agreement that required them to provide or to make the government of Ghana access all the data that they capture. He says it was what drove them to this point. At the government academic institutes also, the health minister revealed that Lightwave e-health solutions delivered the health information system to only 450 out of 960 facilities, despite receiving over 70% of the $100 million contract, and an extension that ended in December 2024. He says the ministry then extended the good faith service level agreement he talked about for the maintenance of the 450 sites, while the issues from the audits were to be handled. He says the vendor refused this offer, and that is why we are where we are now at this point.
Okay, so Maxwell, when the representative of Lightwave was on our network a few days ago, he did mention that government owed them some amount of money. Did that come up at this press conference?
No, it did not come up. That question did not come up. But the health minister said the introduction of the Ghana Health Information Management System will mark a new era in Ghana's health data management, ensuring transparency and ending the monopoly that previously existed in the sector. He said this will now ensure that no single vendor, private entity has control over the health data and systems of Ghanaians. He said going forward, the ministry will open up for more companies to bid because he says the system was initially monopolized. We're told that within the next 4 weeks, teaching hospitals, regional hospitals, and district hospitals will be rolled over to the new system. And he says they have a 4-week plan to get us out of the situation that the country finds itself. He assured that the new platform will enhance service delivery, data accuracy, and operational efficiency across all public health facilities in Ghana.
We also know that he's been assuring that the medical records of Ghanaians will not go back to the manual way. Tell us more about that, Maxwell.
Yes, he says that will not happen, and that the Ministry of Health has been working to deal and mitigate the challenges that we are facing currently. He accused the company of what he says is blackmail. He says because they were unable to reach that agreement with the company, they started experiencing some of the disruptions that Ghanaians who visited the hospital are experiencing. But he assured that the country will not go back to the manual system of record keeping, and that the ministry is doing everything possible to deal permanently with the situation.
Maxwell Agbadba with that update from the Government Accountability Series where the Health Minister Minta Kando has been speaking. Let's go to Parliament now. And the veteran of Chief Justice nominee, Justice Paul Bafuboni, has been thrown into uncertainty following a motion filed by the minority in Parliament urging the Speaker to suspend the process. The minority want the Speaker to put the process on hold until all legal matters surrounding the removal of his predecessor, Justice Gertrude Tokonu, are conclusively determined by the courts. Let's get more from our Parliamentary Affairs correspondent, Kuku Asante, who's joining us right now with details. Kweku, give us the details of this motion filed by the minority this morning.
Well, yes, Pearl, we understand that this has just gone to the Clerk of Parliament. The notice of motion reads that this honourable 125 to 127, 144, 1 and 146 of the 1992 Constitution and the standing orders that Parliament should resolve to suspend forthwith all further proceedings, both at the appointment committee and a plenary, on the nomination of Justice Paul Bafuboni as Chief Justice until all pending suits and applications directly bearing on the removal of her ladyship, Justice Gertrude Tokonu, is dealt with. And so their claim is simple, and it is about 6 MPP MPs who appended their signatures to this notice. Honorable Kwame Anyimedu, Honorable John Dako, Honorable Gloria Usu, Damata Salam Ama Apianima, Honorable Alasan Tampuli, and Kwabna Boateng. They say that the Chief Justice has so many pending applications in the courts that is challenging ultimately office and seeking to be reinstated. In fact, in one of the judicial review applications that the former Chief Justice has filed at the High Court, one of the reliefs she seeks is for the High Court to stop all processes that will lead to the appointment of her successor. And so the NPP MPs now claim that Parliament must pass a resolution that will put on hold all of that. So this is a notice of motion which will ultimately be advertised on the other paper. It will come to the House, it will be debated, and a vote will be taken.
And what's been the reaction of the majority side?
Well, we haven't got a lot of them to speak on the record, but according to my sources within the leadership, they think that this is completely unreasonable. It has no basis in law, and that no one can seek to injunct Parliament, an arm of government, from doing their work simply because someone has filed an action in court. And that in any case, even if Justice Paul Bafuboni is approved and resumes the chair as the Chief Justice, and then another court makes a determination that the former Chief Justice was not removed properly and must be reinstated, it's a simple matter of being reinstated to her office. And so they do not believe that this should stop the vetting of Bafuboni, and they expect that on the 10th of November, the vetting will happen, and they are going to strenuously fight this notice of motion on the floor and anywhere else. Pearl.
Kweku Asante, our Parliamentary Affairs correspondent, thank you so much for that update. We stay in Parliament, and the minority and sponsors of the controversial Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill have called on Parliament to immediately act on the Speaker's ruling for the Anti-LGBTQ bill to be reintroduced in the current session. The Speaker of Parliament, Alban Badman, had ruled that the bill must be reintroduced since all unfinished business from the 8th Parliament expired with its dissolution. This was after the minority leader had stated the bill was passed.
It was passed by Parliament already. That's my recollection, that we passed this already as Parliament. And the issue was giving it a presidential assent. So that is where it should be taken up. I don't see why anybody should bring us a bill that we have passed already.
Let's now hear from the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Badman.
The 8th Parliament is history. So are all the businesses that were pending in the 8th Parliament. They all ended with the 8th Parliament. And so we have a new Parliament, the 9th Parliament. And therefore what was pending there came to an end and had to be reintroduced. It was actually transmitted to the former president. They wrote to tell us that they will not assent to it. The only constitutional error they committed was they didn't give us the reasons why they will not assent to it, and they did not also transmit the bill back to us. So the 9th Parliament on resumption took back the bill, and as you recall, that's a private member's bill. And so members of this House took it up, gone through the whole process as detailed out in our standing orders. But as it went through the process, the new government indicated that they wanted to take it as a public bill. I personally disagreed and made it known to His Excellency the President that this is an initiative of our people, the traditional leaders, the religious leaders, civil society leaders. Ghanaians wanted this bill passed through private members' bill. And so be it. We'll put it as private members' bill. It has to come back to the Speaker. You know, our rules have given what Speaker is expected to do, which I will do before it can be laid in the House.
Well, one of the sponsors of this bill, Reverend Intim Fojo, who is also the Ascent South MP, says the Speaker's decision confirms the position earlier held by the minority, who had maintained that the bill expired with the 8th Parliament and must therefore go through the full legislative process again in the 9th Parliament, warning that the sponsors of the bill will not accept any delays in the legislative process. Reverend Intim Fojo demanded for the bill to reappear on the order paper for the first reading to be taken.
Speaker has ruled, and his ruling is consistent with the position we held when we expressed our surprise at the point that the majority leader raised in Speaker's absence. And we insisted that wherever they had taken the bill for which it disappeared from the order paper, we will fight until it reappears on the order paper for first reading to be taken and for the subsequent processes to be undertaken for its ultimate passage. So one Speaker has ruled that there is nothing wrong with a bill going through the process in the 9th Parliament. What we expect is that beyond rhetoric from every actor, the bill must appear on the order paper. If it doesn't appear on the order paper, then whatever was said is mere rhetoric. So we are looking forward to the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill reappearing on the order paper for the first reading to be taken for consequential referral by the Speaker to Constitutional Legal Committee and the rest of the processes undertaken. We will not accept that the first reading of the bill be deferred to next week or any other later date. We want to see action. We want to see that the Parliament is walking the talk and want to see Human Sexual Rights Family Values Bill 2025 on the order paper for first reading to be taken. If it doesn't appear, then means whatever that was said is just deception to the good people of Ghana.
And as you may be aware, the National Coalition for Proper Human Rights, Proper Human Sexual Rights and Family Values has given Parliament a 2-week ultimatum to transmit the Proper Human Sexual Rights and Ghanaian Family Values Bill to President John Mahama for his assent. You're listening to the Midday News. Still to come, residents of Elmina cry to President Mahama as their taps run dry for weeks, forcing many to rely on sachet water for bathing and cooking. A crisis worsened by illegal mining polluting the River Pra and crippling the Citrahiman headworks.
So this government is doing well for us or what? Let the water flow. That is what we need. I will speak to him directly.
When I wake up in the morning, I brush my teeth with Kale Charcoal toothpaste. This gives me confidence all day.
Anytime you meet Amma, don't be surprised I smile showing my beautiful white teeth because I don't have cavity thanks to Kale Charcoal toothpaste for its natural charcoal properties. In fact, we are like twins. I can't go without my Kale Charcoal toothpaste.
That be why I use Kale Charcoal toothpaste morning and night when I go bed safe. It make my teeth white when it comot every scent from my mouth inside. My confidence level they go up, so I dey show my 32 teeth all.
Introducing the Kale Charcoal toothpaste, formulated with activated bamboo charcoal powder, ensures whiter teeth and removes bad breath. The strong natural property of the activated bamboo charcoal removes bacteria, absorbs surface stains on our teeth caused by coffee, wines, and tobacco. Welcome, Kale Charcoal toothpaste. Kale Charcoal toothpaste, Sankofa Yenchi.
Kale, happy smile.
This advert is FDA approved. is everywhere for everyone. Yeah.
This year is going to be sweet. I don't just feel it, I know it, because the Luckiest Season 3 is back.
And I'm about to show you how to grab your golden ticket. Just dial *712# and follow the prompts to purchase your ticket. Or go to theluckiestafrica.com, hit community tickets, and pick your lucky number.
Or let the system do its magic. Choose how much you want to spend from 1 to 5,000 Ghana cedis. You can even buy a ticket for someone else. Be someone's hero. Payment? Easy. Mobile money in Ghana or card if you're international.
One ticket can turn 1 CD into 500 times more. That's maths we love. Or your community could win 10 times more. So let's get lucky together because luck is everywhere.
You're welcome back to the Midday News. It's time for sport. Mubarak, what do we have?
Yes, well, finally good news for Ghana's Black Queens as the Ministry for Sports and Recreation has settled their outstanding bonuses. Each player received $9,000. The Queens had earlier refused to train but called off their boycott on the eve of their clash against Egypt. They got the job done, securing a 7-0 aggregate win to qualify for next year's Women's AFCON. It's also a chance for the Queens to qualify for the 2027 World Cup if they finish among the top 4 teams at the tournament. Here's their head coach, Kim Las Björkegren.
The most important is to stay in the semi-final, to be top 4, and in the end we took the bronze medal. But I think also for the next year to make sure that we are top 4 and qualify for the World Cup in Brazil, that's going to be a huge tournament. But we also know in the same way that we have the potential to win the whole tournament if we're having a good day. We know that we can beat all of the teams, but there are like 5-6 teams that can do the same thing. Okay, we will go in and do our best to win it, but at least to make sure that we are top 4.
That's the head coach of Ghana's Black Queens, Kim Las Björkegren. And Pearl, if you are to receive $9,000, what would you use it for?
$9,000.
Yes, please.
I'll just do some good investment.
I thought you give it to me anyway.
Oh, you don't deserve it. Mobra, thank you for the latest in the world of sports. Now, water has become a luxury in Elmina. For weeks, taps have run dry. Elderly residents, some as old as 72, now roam the town, desperate to find a few liters to survive. Families are forced to rely on sachet water to cook and even to bathe. The source of their servant is illegal mining, polluting the River Pra, choking the Setreheman headworks with silt. In episode 3 of Dear Mahama, Stop Galamsey, we review how the fight for water in Elmina has become a daily struggle for survival.
For many here in the central region, even a single bucket of water is a blessing. For hours, 72-year-old Jennifer Dazi waits by the tap, the same one she's visited every morning this week. At her age, the search for water has become her daily routine.
My legs are too weak to go searching for water. I even struggle to walk from my house to this place.
When the tap fails, she turns to sachet water. 2 sachets to rinse her cassava, 2 more to boil it. Each one costing money she does not have. But what choice does she have?
I now use sachet water to rinse my foodstuff. President John Mahama, please do something because we are really suffering.
Grandma Jennifer's struggle is not hers alone.
So this government is doing well for us or what? Central region, the man should make everything possible to the water to fall.
With the River Pra heavily polluted by illegal mining, the Setreheman water treatment plant is struggling to draw enough raw water. The result? Rationing, shortages, and rising frustrations.
Let the water flow. That is what we need. I will speak to him directly. President John Dramani Mahama, Central Region, we are suffering too much.
You promised to make things better for us, but we are really suffering. We are begging. We, the people of Elmina, we are suffering.
Please help us.
Let's bring you other stories this afternoon. And the Minister for Roads, Governs Kwame Adbuja, has revealed that there will be no delay in payment to contractors working on the government's Big Push project. He gave the assurance at the Public Accounts Committee sitting where members raised concerns over the increasing debts from road construction projects due to delayed payments to contractors. The sector minister in response says no contractor's payment would delay beyond the stipulated 6-month moratorium.
Atmosphere is created where, in fact, currently 6 months. The law says we pay them in 6 months. We don't intend to pay people in 6 months. Once the regime of payment improves, contractors don't really care whether there's a clause in there or not. And we are determined to use the Big Push as a template to start that without having written that into the contract. We pay them within a reasonable time. Then they can go and actually retire their indebtedness to the banks or the financial institutions. And everybody will be happy. So we shouldn't be too worried about the clause of our interest on delayed payment. With regard to advanced mobilization, yes, if we had the money, we'll pay. But as a minister, we owe contractors we can't pay. And then the same contractor comes to get a new job. And then you are using the money to pay advanced mobilization. And then the certificate you owe him is attracting interest. Won't you rather pay off his debt and allow him to use his own money as capital to start the new project? I think we had this discussion with them, and we thought that it was appropriate. That is why we want to thank the Parliament for making allowance for some amount to be set aside for arrears clearance. The last check, I think we have paid almost 5 billion towards the arrears, and we will continue to do that. The Ghanaian contractor deserves to get his money back so that they can go back to site in our communities and work and make those roads safer for all of us.
You hear that the Roads and Highways Minister Governs Kwame Adbuja. Now it's now time for Clean Ghana campaign. Well, Accra Metropolitan Assembly has begun a series of arrests targeting traders selling at unauthorized locations in Agbogbulushi. City authorities say the operation is part of efforts to restore order and sanitation in one of Accra's busiest trading hubs. Task force officials, accompanied by police, moved through the area early this morning, clearing structures and detaining traders who had defied repeated warnings to vacate unauthorized spots. And it's now time for NSMQ. Now, famed quiz mistress Dr. Elsie Ifa Kaufman returns to the spotlight tomorrow as the National Science and Maths Quiz competition reaches its highly anticipated quarter-final stage. The competition, which has already delivered intense battles and dramatic upsets, now brings together some of Ghana's most prestigious schools. Presec Legon, Infansipim School at Disadel College and the Pokurari all vying for a coveted spot in the semi-finals. Bringing us updates on this is Jacqueline and Soma. Your boy Jacqueline, what should we expect tomorrow? Jacqueline?
Yeah, hi Paul. So the quarterfinal stage, we're expecting it to be a very interesting one because we have interesting contest, especially for we started with 174 schools. Currently, we are down to 27 schools now. And the first contest that a lot of people are looking out for is the Francophonie contest featuring the Francophonie Spencer College and at Disadel College. So the last contest for tomorrow. We also have the 8-time champions, Presbyterian Boys Secondary School, also competing with Olaf, who is also being seeded for the first time in Ghana sector. So, the quarterfinal stage, we're expecting to see more interesting contests, and of course, we get to find out which of the schools will qualify to the semi-final stage.
Jacqueline, thank you so much, and that's how we end the Midday News. I am Ofori. Good afternoon, and thanks for your time.